You are now tuned in to Decadent Conversations. I'm your girl, Shay Butter.
And I'm Brown Sugar. Welcome
Welcome
back.
back. Hey,
I'm
girl.
feel- Hey, I'm feeling the green.
Yeah, we got it kind of popping, huh?
Yeah, that's the money color.
Hey, yes, let's manifest that. Give me some more of that shit. You must have
Okay.
manifested yours. Since you've been handed some change, so I need to do what you doing.
What? Shoot, I'm trying to manifest everything.
I know that's right.
Everything I
Before
want,
we,
everything that's for me.
I want it all: a new pair of socks and drawers. Who you think gonna catch that
Oh,
reference?
uh, I don't all the rap fans.
Okay. Before we jump into our topics today, we do want to give a rest in peace to Coolio. Did pass away yesterday, I believe, which is
He's
Wednesday.
59, right?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
59. So, rest in peace to Coolio.
I have a quick Julio story. When I was probably about 16, my cousin, myself, and a couple of friends were actually in the Fantastic Voyage video.
Oh shit, you ain't never told me that.
Yeah, it was a lot of people. So I don't know if you go be able to spot me because I was 16-year-old me.
But I know what 16-year-old looks like. I can imagine because when were you in that legendary rap group? How
You
old were
so
you?
stupid. That picture from the rap group, I was 20. So that was like 4 years later.
Okay. So how much do you think your looks really changed since then? Look, I'm gonna find your ass, and if y'all want to see what Cherry look like, look at the Fantastic Voyage video.
I had forgotten about that until I saw the news. And actually, my experience on that set is what let me know that I didn't really want to be in entertainment because of it wasn't a fully pleasant experience. Like it was fun at first because we in our bikinis and all that. We at the beach with celebrities. I met so many celebrities. I ended up going to a bunch of other celebrity parties because of it. So that part was cool. All the people that I met and the parties and stuff like that. But at the same time, it was mm-mm.
I have a
We
few
probably
things to
shouldn't have been
say.
there because we were 16. But yeah.
I was just about to say your mama let you be shaking ass in a
No, they
bikini
didn't
at
know.
16.
Yeah, I mean, I had a car, so she wouldn't know if I was just going to the beach to chill because it's hot or whatever. But we were there to be in a video shoot, and my experience there, like I said, it was bittersweet. But on that day, I realized, like, I would have loved to have kept writing. And I should have done that, but I didn't want to be like in entertainment as far as performing just because of what I encountered on that day. Like I said, I was 16, so realistically speaking, I shouldn't have been in that setting. But actually, most of the girls that were in the video were younger, so we're under
Ooh,
18. So it was
they wasn't
16,
checking
17.
ID.
No, they recruited us.
I don't even want to get into that because I got a lot of thoughts and feelings about the
And they
entertainment
didn't
and dealing
pay
with
us. They were supposed to
underage.
pay us. They were supposed to pay us. They didn't even pay us. That was probably the reason why for the younger girls too. They knew we would just be happy to be like in the video, but those guys were so like this was before the Me Too movement, but those guys were so like not all of them. It was actually a very small percentage. But when you 16 and somebody 6'4" is grabbing on you and all that stuff, it
Yeah,
just was
that's
like
why I said I don't even
mhm.
know if I want to. I automatically already knew what was up when you went there And
Mhm.
mm,
Yeah. I
I
mean,
got some things to say, but overall, what?
overall, it was a fun experience, and it was cool being able to meet like people and the parties and the fun of it all. But in the back of my mind, it was still like uncomfortable how some of the guys was coming at the girls, and people wasn't, you know what I'm saying, like protecting us in that way, you know. But yeah, so that was crazy to me. But like I said, I didn't want to take away from the fact of, you know, the entertainer that he was, or anything. He didn't personally do anything. So, but that experience left an impression on me big time. But you know, rest in peace to Coolio, and condolences on that.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and change the mood
Yeah.
because I don't want to be thinking about pedophile shit.
Okay, so so I told you guys before, like, you know, my peoples had hooked me up with a gentleman, and you know, things was cool. He wasn't like my typical type of dude. Like aesthetically, he's not what I would go for. But you know, they had so many positive things to say about him. I was like, let me give it a try. And then when we went out, you know, we had a great time. You know, we really vibed. We had pretty good conversation and everything. So I was like excited and hopeful about the situation. But then it took a turn. So,
What happened?
okay, we went out. The next day we talked. He was like, I really like you. Are you dating with intention? He was still saying a lot of cool stuff. So I was like, all right, we might be on the same page as far as intention, right?
Mhm.
So some time passed. Now, mind you, I did take a couple trips this summer. You know what I'm saying? But some time passed, and I still was communicating, texting or whatever. And I told him I prefer to talk than to text. So if I'm not out of town, let's talk. Like, you know, that's that millennial stuff, just to be having a whole text message relationship. Like, I'm trying to talk on the phone or see each other in person. So I told
Yeah.
him that, and he was like, all right, cool. So maybe like 2 weeks passed, and he didn't ask me out. And I'm like, what's up with that? Like, but so I said something about it. I was like, so you just not gonna ask me out? And so then he was like, you could plan something. I thought you was gonna do it. I said, well, how was I supposed to know that? But okay, cool, I'll plan it. So I'll plan the next one. So I said, you know what? I want to go to iPic Theater. It's so nice. It's a nice theater. You can
Mhm.
eat. You know, it's a nice little setting. Tell me what movie you want to see. He said, I want to see Beast. And I said, well, let me know what day and time because this is my availability. He said, I'll let you know by the end of the weekend. I was like, all right, cool, because I need to reserve it. You can't just roll up in there. You got to reserve it at that theater or it'll sell out. So
Mhm.
he was like, all right, cool. So then he didn't tell me that weekend. And a whole another week passed. So that weekend I was like, I said, I got a gripe with you. But I wasn't even saying it like aggressive or nothing. I was like, I got a gripe with you. And he was like, what? I said, it's been weeks since we went out. I said, and you told me you were going to tell me by the end of the weekend when we could go to the movies and then I would make the arrangements. And I said, you never did. You never got back to me. And so then he was like, oh, okay. You know, he really didn't have like much to say about it. So, you know, he was like, I said, I just feel like I'm putting more effort than you. So I asked him, I said, he said, well, that's your opinion. I said, no, it's rooted in facts. I said, when you tell me something, do you want me to believe what you say or you want me to question what you say? And he was like, I want you to believe me. I said, well, then you said something and you didn't carry out what you said. So I'm just saying, you know, be consistent about what you're saying, that I can believe what you say. I wasn't like tripping on him. I was just letting them know, like, mean what you say or whatever. So,
Mhm.
you know, that. That was that. So then another week passed. He still don't ask me out. I'm like, at this point, I'm like starting to be over it. So then he was like, "Hey, how was your weekend?" I said, "It was fine." I said, "How was yours?" He was like, "Oh, I took my daughter to the movies to see Beast, which was the movie we were supposed to go to see that he never even told me, right?" So I was like, "Okay, this guy, he's not who." He's not on my page because I want somebody to say what they mean and mean what they say and consistent. I can count on their word in small things and big things.
But
You know what
get
I'm
to the
saying?
funny part. Because you said something to me yesterday that stuck out. I forgot it was the audacity of what he said to you.
Oh my God, I was so upset then about it. But yeah, okay. So fast forward, I go to the beer and wine festival and he's sitting at the table. He happened because I hadn't talked to him for a week. And so, I'm talking a little crap to him at the table, just giving them, giving them shit because of how everything unfolded. But at this point, I had already determined like I wasn't tripping off him, but I was going to talk a little shit. So that's what that happened. So he walked me to the car. When he walked me to the car, we have a good conversation, big hug. And basically, I'm thinking like, that night we talked and it's a reset button. He explained some stuff and I was like, all right, we can let bygones be bygones. Let's just hit the reset button and we good to go. So I thought we was good. Mm-mm. He gon' the next morning send me a good morning text. The good morning text say, "Good morning. Um, I was thinking about the claim that you made that I never told you my schedule, and that wasn't true. I told you my schedule." I was like, "No." I said, of all the things to say, if we have a reset button and we was good yesterday, why are you starting the day off with trying to prove your point? Like he was just
Mm-hmm.
being so petty. Like he was acting like girls be acting. I'm not no lesbian. I don't want to be in a lesbian relationship. And he was being like real girly about the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? Why are you being petty? So I'm like, whatever. So he did that. We still ended up like talking after that. And so I'm like, it's just dragging on and on. So at this point, I'm like starting to be over it. And so we had talked about the Mary J. Blige concert or whatever. And he was like, yeah, you dropped the ball on that. And so then I'm like, no, we had a discussion about it. One of the days you were going to be working, the other day was a work day for me. And so we hadn't really put nothing, set anything in stone, And so then I was like, so I just let's hang out if we're going to hang out or not. And so then he was like, you plan it. You plan it. That part, you planned it. Like the way he was acting like I did something to him. He was so like defensive. I just felt like I was getting into it. And how me and you get into it when we both got our attitudes on. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be in a
Nigga, don't
relationship
don't
with you. You
don't
know what
what
I'm
the fuck
saying?
I got to do with this shit though? Don't let's not do that.
But I'm just
Don't bring me
saying,
up.
But I'm just saying, like, that's cool because we homegirls, so it's whatever. But I'm not trying to be like in a relationship like that. Why would you expect that I'm gonna be just planning everything? And why would you not like step up? And I had talked to one of my male cousins about it. He was like, a guy that like you, that's interested in you, you're not gonna have to be trying to figure out where you stand. Like he gonna make it abundantly clear. And he and I went out at the beginning of like August. It's about to be October, and we only happen to see each other because we happen to be at the same event. Okay, so I told him that I was gonna be working in his city the whole week, and he was like, "Cool." Or nice. He said nice. So I'm thinking he's gonna be like, well, let's link up and go to lunch then. If you're gonna be down the street from me for a whole week and he has a job that's kind of has some freedom and stuff, common sense, if you like somebody, you're gonna say that. So when we talked, he said, well, I thought about it, but I was waiting for you to say it. Why are you always waiting for me to do something?
But hold on, slow your roll because me and you, I don't want you to think I'm siding with the guy because you already know how I feel. It's
Mhm.
probably people
Mhm.
that think I hate men, and I don't hate y'all. Y'all just do stupid shit. Um,
Mhm.
but you had already said a few weeks ago, you said a few things. One, you said that you already knew he was like this. He don't be planning shit. And you said you was gonna give him a chance though. You also said that I forgot who else you spoke to, but you was like, he might be,
Oh
do you
yeah.
want a man that don't never want to do nothing with you, or would you be okay with having to plan everything and just giving him the bill? And you said, actually, I do want that. So now I'm just trying
Okay,
to
and it's
figure out,
not
well,
that.
what happened?
Okay, this is the thing. When he said I was waiting on you to plan a date, I was like, fine, I'll plan it. But then if I plan it and I tell you, let me know when, and you don't never let me know when, what else can I do?
I think he was looking for you to say, all right, September 29th, we about to go to Woonty Woon.
But I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that for the simple fact the days that he's supposed to be off kept changing. It was because he was taking on other people's shifts and stuff. So I couldn't base it off of what his regular schedule is because it kept being something different. So how can I plan something like that? And you keep changing. So
You
that's why I
can't
was.
you
Hmm.
can't, and it's just another example of us dating out of our comfort zone, and we really
Yeah.
shouldn't. That's what
Yeah.
it all boils down to. You already really didn't like how dude was looking anyway. You didn't like
No,
how you
I
always
didn't have
had
no
to be
problem with
the.
his looks. I didn't have a problem with
It's
his
not
looks.
your type though. It's not your
He's not
type.
my
That's what I'm
typical.
saying. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
he's
you
not
thought
my
he was
typical
ugly, but
type.
he's not your type. So
Yeah, he
you were
wasn't
kind
my
of like,
typical type.
like, all right, let me try this. You really shouldn't have tried it. But you tried it, and it is what it is. So he's gone.
Yeah, I don't know. The biggest thing with me was the arguing, like not arguing, but the defensiveness and acting like a chip on your shoulder, like you do it, you do it. It was like I felt like I was getting the residual from what somebody else did because it didn't even match. I never did nothing to him. He act like I did something to him or like I was supposed to be proving something.
Maybe he
So
ain't got no
I don't
coochie in
know.
a long time, and he was upset. You know they act like
Well,
they
you
can't. They
know,
gotta bust a nut every day because they be frustrated. Tell
well, like I
him to jack
said,
off or something. Shit, that's probably what was
acting like
wrong with
that.
him.
Mm-mm. Acting like that'll make a woman dry up like the Sahara. How about
Mm,
that? That's not how you do it. So
okay.
unfortunately, that is what it is. And I just didn't like the way he was coming at me like you planned it, you planned it. I thought you was gonna do it. Why you didn't do it? That part. That's how he was talking.
You gonna be all
What?
right, friend?
Yeah, no, girl, I'm already cool.
Okay. Well, let me tell you a little bit about mine. I ain't gonna be as long winded as you, but I'm gonna share what I need to share, get in and get out. So if I could even
Whatever.
remember, I was talking to make a long story short, I was talking to this dude. He wasn't my type physically, but he wasn't ugly. He just was bigger. And we had that conversation about big dudes, and it's not necessarily my preference, but I will talk to a big dude, just like I'm not everybody's preference or whatever. Okay, so you already know he sent me a picture of his dick. Because you know
Cause
me.
you requested it. Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Well, he was bragging on it.
My.
He was bragging on it. And I was like, your fat ass bragging on your dick a lot. So let me see your dick. So I saw his dick, and it was everything that it should have been and more. But the
Oh.
issue was, yeah, I was like, oh, really? Let me give this nigga a chance. But the issue was
Damn.
he was like, yeah. So how you like your click ate? And I said, what? He said, how you
What?
like your click ate?
Click.
I said, nigga, you mean clits? He said, Yeah, my bad. Click.
Yeah, let the
So
click.
yeah, that was the first side. Because if you don't even know what the correct terms are, I really ain't got no business fucking with you. Okay. So as we go on and we talking, he's getting like real controlling, like, well, how much time do you like to spend with your man? Because when I do get in a relationship, I'm all about my woman. Like, you ain't gonna have no friends no more. All you gonna be able to do is go to work, and then whatever you do, we're gonna have to do it together. And I'm like, I don't like that. He's like, see, that's what's wrong with women. Women gotta put their man first and do whatever the man say and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, whatever, because at this point I'm like, all right, I'm gonna smash this nigga once and then I'm gonna go on about my business. So we don't even do that. The turn off part is we get into it. I don't even remember what we get into it about, but you know me and my mouth, and you say the wrong thing to me, I'm finna cut up and go off. And whatever he said, I said, what? And he was like, yeah, yeah, you heard what I said, cuz. And he got to gang banging on me. And so I'm like, oh, okay, so this is really the last straw because you too old to be gang banging. You 50. So you too old to be gang banging on me. I don't want to do that shit. So I told him that I was no longer interested. And before I hung up in his face, I said, and it's clit, not click, bitch. And then I just fell out laughing and went up in his face.
He gonna come find your ass.
So I know I'm petty as fuck for that, but that was it. That was my little dated thing for the week.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Girl, I don't know, but I had a good experience too. But that was disappointing for me. So it is what it is. So let's I got a question for you.
Mhm.
How do you know when a guy is not into you?
Um, if I'm the one that calls, he doesn't
Hmm.
call and check on me and see how my day is. He doesn't make an effort to try to see me to take me out, but he's available to hit me up at night, like during booty call hours. Um, if he doesn't try to learn about what my interest is, we're only having or interests are, we're only having surface conversations,
Hmm.
and then it leads back to sex. He ain't trying to figure out nothing else. That's how I usually can tell that a man is not really into me. He will fuck on me, but he's not interested.
Right. Okay. So my ex, the one that we met through, decided that he was gonna call me. Now I got him
Mm.
blocked. So I
He called
have
you
him
from a different
blocked.
number.
He called me from no caller ID. So when I answer the phone, he says, "Don't hang up. Don't hang up. Just hear me out." And I was like, "Okay, what's up?" He was like, "I got something for you." I was like, "Okay." And so then he was like, "Can I come over?" I said, "You're going to be on the porch. You can't come in my house." Right. So then he was like, "All right." I said, "In like 20 minutes. Like, I'm not about to like sit and talk to you all day." So he came over and he started telling me about how he just been reflecting and how he missed me and he's sorry for everything that he did. And sometimes he just sit and think about how messed up he was and it brings him to tears. And he's going through a
Uh,
divorce now and all this other kind of stuff. And he started, bawling, crying, right? So I'm like listening, but he just like keep on and he just go all into this whole scene. And so I'm like, I don't know what his angle is or none of that. But I was just like, look, I forgave you, you know what I'm saying, already. So as far as I'm concerned, like it ain't no bad blood. It's been like 10 years already. So I'm over it. I done moved on and, you know, I done forgave you or whatever. So he starts to tell me like more details about his like marriage, and he starts to tell me like more details about like specifically what he learned and how basically he was doing the same stuff in this relationship he was doing in my relationship, but he didn't have this like great epiphany or whatever. I'm like, okay. So he say his piece, and then he told me he had an issue with us being friends because that was weird. He said that was weird that that you would try to befriend me and that he don't like that. And I was like, it ain't for you to like. It's
But
it's between.
it is, to me, it's not weird though, because it would be weird if I tried to hook up with him and I knew y'all was involved. You know what I mean? And then I would
Yeah,
try to be
yeah,
like, yeah, let me go ahead and be your friend. It wasn't like that.
yeah. And I told him, I said, initially, I was resistant to building a friendship with her. I said, but then I thought about it and I was like, what's the big deal? We run in the same circles and, we have mutual friends. We're going to be seeing each other. So what's the point of having a gripe with you when my issue was with him? And he
Hmm.
was like, she knew, she knew, she knew. And so then I was like, she knew what? She knew that I had a girl and, she might not have known you or who exactly you were, but she knew that I had a girl and she still was willing to kick it with me. So, you trust somebody like that and all this stuff. And I was like, that shit, oh, I don't even care about none of that at this point. It don't even
He's still
matter.
putting a
It's
10 on a 2 though. You know, I didn't even fucking know about you. So nigga, you lying
No,
after the
I know
fact.
you
Y'all ain't
didn't.
been together in
Be-
10 years.
yeah, I know that because he didn't put because you had put up on Facebook. Oh, niggas think I'm stupid. I done figured it out. But that was after you no longer was interacting with him, even by his
Hmm.
admission. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. So I'm like, that's that. And so I was like, it's no hard feelings. He was like, can you keep me unblocked? I was like, yeah, cool. You know. So anyway, he gave me the little money and
What
I
little
put that
money?
little. He gave me some money and I put gas is high in California,
Oh,
so I
that's what he
put some
had for
gas.
you.
He had
Okay.
money for me. He said I always looked out for him. He doing pretty cool, and he just wanted to bless me with a little something. So I took it and put some gas in my car. So that was that. So I'm sitting here recording and I hear somebody banging on the door, but my cousin is here. So I'm knowing it ain't my cousin. I'm knowing it's not the kid because the kid would have just went to the back because the back is open right now. So I'm like trying to ignore it, hoping it's the kid and he'll just walk to the back. And then he ring the doorbell and I'm like, what is you doing? You can't pop up in my house. You don't know who over here. You don't know if I got a man over here. You don't know what I got going on. You cannot pop up over here. What make you think you got them type of rights? You got to go.
You know, I got a few things
And
to
then I
say.
just closed the door.
As you should. A few things to say. First of all, I'm mad at you because when you told me this story the other day, you did not tell me he called you beforehand and asked you, could you come? You made it seem like he just popped up on you. I don't even know why you entertained that in the first place. Number two, I told you when you was like, girl, he gave me some money with whom, I told you I don't know why you did that because I knew the nigga was gonna keep popping up. This is
I
not
didn't
gonna be
know
the
what he
last time he
had for
pops
me.
up.
I
This is
didn't
not
know
gonna
what
be
he
the
had
last time
for
he
me.
pop up on you.
Yes, it is. After that conversation right now, yeah, that's it. It's gonna be a problem if you pop up again. Cause it was a problem today. I didn't give you permission to pop up. You don't know what I got going on. Why is you popping up like you can't roll through here like that? This ain't 10 years ago.
I hope the next time he pop up, one of your guy friends is over there. I really do.
Shit. No, he ain't popping up. It's abundantly clear. No.
Audience, for those that don't know, this is a popping up ass nigga. They ain't been together for 10 years. And the nigga has popped up so many times over the past 10 years. So my question to y'all is, do y'all think he gonna pop back up? You know my answer is
it's
yes.
it's
And do
been it's
and do y'all think she should have took the money? Yes or no? You know where to answer them questions at.
Mm-mm. He don't it don't be it be like a year done pass and then he'll pop back up. It don't be like every week or something. It be like once a year.
A nigga's gonna pop back up again. Mark my words.
Mm-mm. Ain't no popping up. Hey, them no. Like you better call. He was like, I tried to call, but okay, if I ain't answering, I'm not available.
I
What
want you.
is you doing?
I'm just. What gets me with this dude is that he's making. He just keeps on making the same mistake, and with every woman, and then wonders
Yeah, he
why he
ain't
gets
got
in
the
the
lesson.
situation that he gets in.
Yeah. So I don't want no parts of no drama. So stay where you at. I ain't taking no more gas money. Shit, I will use my own gas card.
Girl,
Woo.
shit.
Okay. Back to these scheduling, regular scheduled program.
So since the topic for today is you know, he's just not that into you, it's safe to say that your ex is definitely still into you. Without without a shadow of a doubt.
He just 10
Oh,
years too late.
shit.
You can't be
Mm-mm.
10 years too late. Okay, so for me, like, as far as if a guy is the problem that I run into with guys like with not being sure like if they into me or whatever is a lot of time they start off one way and then they do that switch up. So they start strong. You know what I'm saying? They start strong and say everything right and do everything right. So then when they do the switch up, you be like, dang, maybe it's just the circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because of this. It's like you start making excuses for what's going on. Or I do. I start making excuses. Well, maybe it's because he just worked a lot of hours or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Then eventually I get pissed off like I did with the last little situation. I get pissed off and I'll be like, shit. Barack called damn Michelle, your ass a barber. You can fucking call me. You know what I'm saying? I start saying stuff like that. So when I get to that point where I start looking at, basics, like I'm worth a phone call. I'm worth being asked on a date. I'm worth you keeping your word and following through. Like, you know what I'm saying? Don't try to act like you so busy. Or the worst part is when they use like those convenient tragedies. That's what I call it, convenient tragedies. My
Unfortunately, I
grandmama
don't
was.
ever believe a nigga when he say his grandma or his mama died. And I know that's fucked up, but nigga,
I wasn't
stop
even gonna say
lying. Cause
died. I was gonna say sick. Damn, you done killed her. Yeah, them convenience tragedies. Oh, my kid, this and that. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of guys use the kids. I'd be like, okay. And that's just for the birds. If I start seeing them inconsistencies now, I'll just be done. Like, but sometimes it's hard to tell. Do you ever get in that situation where you like, I'm not sure if this person's into me or not because it's not consistent?
mine don't always be a not consistent thing. A lot of it, in my opinion, is I'm gonna do everything I need to do because I want to tap that ass. So I feel like
Oh
men
yeah,
pull out
yeah,
all the stops,
they
act like
do.
they interested because they want some coochie. So
So
I
then,
don't
how you
never
figure
really.
it out?
Oh, bitch, sometimes I fuck up. Sometimes I don't know until after the fact. So I I don't know. I kind of feel
Okay,
like
with your ex, how did you know that he just wasn't that into you?
um that started happening when we started really being done with each other. Because even after we
Hmm.
broke up, he still took me out for my birthday, still was giving me money, all types of shit. just was
Mhm.
in a relationship with somebody else. But this last time we interacted with each other, he was done because how he was responding, it was, if you want to come over, I don't care. And
Mm.
yeah, like, stuff like that. Like, I don't care if you do that or not. I'm cool. We don't have to talk all the time. I don't talk to my friends all the time. Um, if you want to see me, just call me. Like, he was acting like that, and I was like, yeah, this is definite. Despite all the bullshit, let's act like the bullshit didn't even happen. This has really ran its course, because he's
Mm.
changing how he even communicates with me over text. I was asking him questions and he would just respond with exclamation marks, and I'm like, this is silly shit. Like, you ain't never did no stuff like this. Like, you really acting stupid. So yeah.
So what if a guy don't want to take you out? Would you consider that he just trying to kick it on the inside, or like in a in that type of setting, but like y'all not really going out? Would you
here's the
say he's not into you?
here's the thing though, but since you brought up my ex, he
Mhm.
didn't take me out initially. We got into it bad because he was coming over for us to hang out, and this was before we even started having sex. We were hanging out. He wouldn't even give me any water. And I was like, I need some water. Can you give me some water? He had all these excuses why he couldn't bring me no water. But then after, yeah, this nigga took me through the ringer. But then after we like got together, because he kept pressing for me to be his woman. Finally, after he wore me down, I was like, all right, because we had already fucked by then. I was hooked. Um, he wanted to wine and dine me all the time. He was giving me money all the time. He was over every day. We were going places, all types of stuff. So I don't ever want to date somebody like him again. But I kind of feel like maybe I shouldn't just write a guy off if he doesn't take me out on a date so quick, because um maybe I guess all of them don't move that way. Maybe some of them do still have good intentions, but they're really tired of dating all of these women and not getting anything in return. And I'm not talking about coochie per se, but I'm just talking about, I know women do use men for dates sometimes. So I kind of like, it's hit or miss for me. I don't think I'll make that exception for every man, but for
Mhm.
some, depending on how the conversation is and if the vibe is, I might be like, all right, we don't have to go out on a date so quick. I'm cool with
But
just
my thing is this, like, if we just if we just like hanging out at the house or something and we don't go out, I'm gonna feel like you trying to keep me your little secret or something. Like you not, or you hiding something. You don't want somebody to see us together, or I'm your little secret just for, purposes. That's what I would be thinking if a guy like didn't want to like take me out and stuff like that. And I would think he not into me, because if you into me, you want to share experiences with me. You want to go places with me. You want to go to the concert. You want to go, paint and sip. You want to spend time with me. So if you just trying to chill at the house, like it's limited what we gonna. That's some Netflix and chill type of stuff.
but a
So
guy
I
could
feel like,
still he could
mhm.
still take you out and still not be into your ass. He just a gentleman. And he could
Yeah,
still
but
take your
shoot,
ass
I'll
out
feel a
and
little
and
bit
have
better
a
about the
whole
situation.
he could still take your ass out and still have a whole nother family at home. So
That's true. That's
so I
true.
can't.
But I'm gonna feel more stupid if we
Oh,
just
so
was on
that's
the
what it's
couch.
about. Okay.
I'm gonna feel more stupid if we just was on the couch, because you didn't even put no effort. You didn't even put no effort, no
Girl,
thought, no
just say
effort.
that you want all the men to take you out, because that's what it sounds like.
I do want to go out. Not that I have to only go out, but of course, like, yeah, you gotta take me on a proper date. Yeah, you got to
At,
take me on a proper date. That don't mean $1 million restaurant necessarily. It could be a picnic, but you got to plan something and take me out on the date. Like I feel I'm worth that. It's not like I don't reciprocate. I'm a reciprocating person. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
not,
But
and I'm not saying you not worth it, and I'm not saying I'm not worth it. I'm just saying I'm not so like gung ho to go out on a date with a guy so quick anymore. Because at first I was like, all right, we talking, the vibe is cool. He need to be asking me out on a date. But now, if a few
mhm,
weeks pass and all we doing is talking on the phone, and then he finally asks
that's
me on a
cool.
date, I'm okay with that. I'm
I'm
okay with
fine with
that.
that. Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
fine
the
with that.
date eventually does need to happen, but I'm not pushing
The
for it.
date ain't gonna be at the house though, is what I'm saying.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm agreeing
Mhm.
with you.
Yeah.
The nigga showed me his
Yeah.
dick in the car. Okay? That's how
Oh my
that's how
God.
that's how the accident did. He was
How does that even happen? How? You driving down the street and it just jack in the box? Like, I don't understand. How does it happen?
they're they're whores. They're whores.
But you be requesting.
And you're a whore. Because you
Oh my God.
If a man says, "Show me your pussy in the car," I ain't about to lift up my shit and show it.
Right.
You're a whore, sir.
Right. I'm not.
A freak
Oh
one
my
at that.
goodness. Okay, so when I was having this discussion with a group of ladies about, it's a movie that came out years ago, and it said he's just not into you, and it's a book.
Mhm.
Actually, the book came out first, then the movie came out. What would be your indicators, like say to a younger young lady that a guy is just not into her?
You want to know why this is hard for me to answer? It's hard for
Mhm.
me to answer because I can't just say surface shit like if he doesn't open the door for you, or if he doesn't, want to be on the phone with you all day, because times have changed. A lot of men are not chivalrous. A lot
Mhm.
of them, especially the younger generation, don't want to sit on the phone and they rather just text you. I don't even think they really know how to communicate that well, to be
Mhm.
honest with you. Like, and especially the way these songs is going, at least the songs of our parents' day, they kind of like did sex a little bit. It was more like making love, like they was smooth with it. This shit just say, "I want to fuck you, bitch. Bend over," stuff like that. So if they're listening to that and approaching women like that, I'm not sure. I guess the main thing I would say is, as long as young man, that first of all, don't ever let a man disrespect you. That bitch word, I don't care if you do listen to the B word in the songs, he should not be calling you no bitch. um if he's trying to tell you what to do, without asking you or saying how you feel about something, and you guys don't even have that level of trust to where you know that he can lead you, then that will be a sign that, I don't even think I'm getting signs that he's not that into you. I'm just giving signs of to what to pay attention to, because I didn't been there. And so I do want to
Mhm.
help some young ladies if they are listening. So pretty much what I would have to say to let the young ladies know if a man is really into you or not would be how he treats you. And what I mean by that is, how does he even treat you when you're around his friends? Is he being polite? Is he being respectful? Does he call you out your name? Things like that. Does he introduce you as just the homie? Oh, that's my home girl. Or no, we're talking. This is somebody that I like. This is somebody that I'm into. Um, Things like that. Does he think about you and want to reach out to you during the day? And it's just, I think it's the little intricate details like that.
For me, I feel like for the most part, most guys are gonna do what guys do, which is pretend till they get what they want, play games and all that kind of stuff. A lot of guys are gonna do all that. I think the most important thing to remember, which I have to constantly remind myself of, is don't overinvest. Meaning, don't go in too hopeful. Just go in neutral and just look at what's really happening and see stuff for what it is, not what you want it to be. And if you do that, then you don't get like upset. So, for example, it's a guy friend of mine. He just reaches out every like couple of months and he'll just be like, I'm in LA, let's go out to eat. So I look at him as guy that shows up every 2 months to go out to eat. And I don't feel nothing when I don't hear nothing from him because that's what his role is. And I never over invested to think that it's more than that. You know what I'm saying? So the only time that I've gotten like disappointed and my feelings hurt and all that stuff is when I was putting like more than what I should have put into the situation and wasn't fully looking at the full picture and probably, missing certain signs because I wanted what I wanted or I liked him or because he was cool for a little while and then he did the switch up. If they do the switch up, that's data too. That's data for you to collect to say, okay, this fool, do the switch up sometimes. So now what am I dealing with? Is that an exception? Or is something going on? Or is that who he is? You know what I'm saying? So don't ignore what's in front of you and then act accordingly instead of getting
But
yourself upset.
you know what I'm getting from you right now? This is
What's
what I'm
that?
getting. You don't mind the him reaching out to you every now and then because he's taking you out on a date. And I already
No,
said 20 minutes ago
shut
that
up. That is
that's
not
really just
it.
what you want. You want the niggas to take you out on a
No,
date.
no. I don't, I know that relation, that is not going anywhere. I'm already aware that's not going nowhere. We just two people who hanging out to go out to eat, and that's it.
So
You know
would
what
you
I'm
be cool
saying?
if he just reached out to check on you and didn't say, "Hey, do you want to go to lunch?" But y'all
Of
talk every
course.
couple of months? Okay.
Yeah, I'll be
Well, nigga,
okay
if
with
you
that.
listening, you ain't gotta spend your money on her no more. She said it was cool.
No,
Nah,
he
for real,
don't.
I'll be
It's
kidding.
it's it's the ones that try to sell a dream and be, lying and all that kind of stuff. And then I be thinking like it's a certain way and it's not that way. Then
Right.
that's what pisses me off. So but honestly, looking like in retrospect, a lot of them times they showed signs before they acted a total fool.
Yeah, but sometimes we try to make excuses for them, I think, and we don't
Exactly.
always pay attention to those signs or to those red
Exactly.
flags.
Yeah, the excuses. Oh, it's because he just got out of a relationship. Oh, it's because he just got a divorce. Oh, it's because he didn't have no mama. It's because his daddy on crack. It's because he was a foster kid. Like,
I,
we make excuses, but at the end of the day, you really got to look at the bottom line of what is this person doing? Are they being a pump or a drain? Or are they, you know, consistent? Can you count on them? Because them circumstances do not give you permission to treat people any kind of way.
I had to check myself because, with my weeding men process now, I ask God to just show me signs, and if it's not
Hmm.
meant to be before I get invested,
Yes.
remove them out my life before I gotta have, you already know where I'm going with this before feelings
Yeah.
get involved or
Yeah.
anything. And so
Yeah.
something finally told me, but that happens all the time. And
Mm.
you are expecting God to send you a tsunami for a sign when he sends you little raindrops and you just brush them off and don't even pay attention to them.
Yeah.
So I it's we both have to pay attention, which I do that now. I pay attention a little
Hmm.
more, but with anything,
Hmm.
oftentimes the signs would be right there. But even if they're not as big as we want them to be, we still need to recognize them and acknowledge them.
Yeah. And then cut it off. Stop giving it more and more benefit of the doubt. Like, no, it's what the hell it looked like.
It absolutely
It
is.
you don't like the biggest indicator is how are you left feeling when that person is around or and they leave. Like, how are you left feeling? Are you left feeling confused and befuddled and angry or upset or hurt feelings? Or if
I
you
was just
keep
about to
feeling
say
like
that.
that, then
Go
it's
ahead.
something ain't right. Your body gonna tell you something ain't right. Pay attention.
And listen, I should not be getting upset with you and arguing with you,
Hmm.
and we ain't
Right.
even together.
That's the whole point right there. That's the
I don't
whole
want the
point right
relationship
there.
problems, period. But I definitely don't
Right.
want them if we ain't even together.
From the
Now
gate.
I look stupid.
Yeah. When I found myself getting into it with that guy, I was just like, I knew it wasn't about me. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm fighting him about somebody else did. Because he coming at me
Yeah,
like I did something to him and nothing happened for him to come at me the way he coming at me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no. And that should have been that. Soon as it took 2 months for you to take me on the date in that situation, but then I asked you about it, and you're like, no, no, I really like you. Okay, if you really like me, then it don't take 2 months for you to ask somebody to go on a date.
that's it.
You're not
I
gonna
can get
keep
with
telling
that. That's
me,
the truth.
right? You're not gonna keep telling me, no, you make the date. No, you make the plans. Why you can't do it? Like, what are you talking about?
Typically, when a guy starts taking me out on dates, it's like they're consistent with it, and it's not
Yeah,
something that I have to.
at
He
least
might
in the
ask me where
beginning.
I want to go, but we're gonna be dating often. It's not gonna be
Right,
2 months that go by, and he like, "Well, you
right,
plan it."
right. Because how
So
could we
I
get to
get
know
that.
each other? We can't get to know each other that way. That's why I couldn't take the other guy serious that I go to dinner with every few months. Can't take him serious. But yeah. Anyway, so we gave some nuggets of our own experiences of what not to do.
You got anything you want to leave our listeners with?
I would just say your body and your mind is gonna tell you. It's gonna tell you when something ain't right. Listen to it. Listen to it.
What you think I gotta say? Be nice,
F these
cause you stay
niggas.
trying to come for me. Nah, I ain't gonna say F these niggas and stop. What I was
These
gonna
niggas
say
ain't
is,
shit.
oh damn, tell me how you really feel, bitch. What I was gonna say is, don't let me lie to y'all. I go on dates with these niggas. I ain't entertaining nobody that ain't taking me on no dates. And that's on period.
Oh my God.
Ah, and that's it.
That's it, y'all.
We out.
We out.